Well, Alan has Parkinson's disease. We had heard about hospice and we decided that is the way to go. We have to have him at home.
Well, my mom's illness is congestive heart failure, and it was getting worse. There was a period there where I thought she wasn't going to make it. So at that point I decided that hospice would be a good alternative in keeping her home and making her comfortable.
Fred was suffering from prostate cancer, and his oncologist recommended hospice care. By having Fred at home, I could be with him all the time. Our children, our grandchildren, our friends could visit at any time. It was less intimidating, it was more comforting. It was a very special time for us to be able to be with him, especially the grandchildren.
My dad had Parkinson's disease for about 24 years. And whenever I think about what they gave us, we were all part of a team. And when I talk about his nurse or his therapist, I always seem to say it in terms of our nurse or our therapist or our social worker, because they were such a tremendous support to our family.
Hospice is there to take care of a patient with a devastating illness, but with the understanding that that illness affects not only the patient on every imaginable level, but it affects the family on every level as well.
Services we utilized right away from hospice was a health aide takes care of Alan. She washes him, dresses him, talks to him, and they play dominoes. And also, if he is strong enough, occasionally they go for a very, very brief walk on the street.
It provides him with a secure environment in terms of he knows that someone is coming to care for him. And with Helga, it frees up some of her time, that she's able to do some of the things that she's unable to do when she's home alone with Alan.
Many times with the older patients, they will tell us, Joe was sick last night, but I didn't want to bother you. And we always insist, especially on the initial meeting, we want to be bothered. We need to be bothered.
Hospice is a service to call in when the patient still has several months to live. It improves the quality of their life tremendously. It improves the caregiver's quality of life, just the nursing and social work and the chaplaincy, volunteers. It's a relief to the caregivers.
If they can process this time together to resolve any problems, any situations, and come together in an atmosphere of love and caring, and to be in their own home is a wonderfully secure place for our patients.
Along with our time together, both as a nurse and also as someone who gets to know her personally, I can see that it provides her with a lot of comfort and reassurance.
If something is mentionable, it's manageable. We talk to people about subjects that perhaps other people won't dare to, given attitudes toward life, funeral planning, and it's sort of a sacred space that we're able to share that with the patients and the families.
It has made such a huge difference in my mother's life in that she's just more upbeat, she's happier, she enjoys the camaraderie of the volunteers who come to the house. Just meeting some new faces gives her something to look forward to.
I know from personal experience that I have been able to be supportive and listen and provide comfort when needed.
The fact that you could call them or they'd make a visit was such a relief.
After the staff is finished for their day, I pick up for continuity care, and what that simply means is we need to make sure that the patient and the family in the community, in the home, always know that they have availability to talk to someone.
Having the complementary care made a big difference to my dad. He was able to receive some massage therapy from hospice, which was really wonderful.
Massage therapy helps the hospice patient with their anxiety. It helps with their stress that they're going through. It also helps with like social isolation. Sometimes there's not everybody's around, so when they see me, they see, oh, you know, somebody's coming in, and they're here just to give me that safe comfort touch.
Following the death of my husband, hospice care started communicating to me through mail, and gradually they introduced me to a bereavement program.
People need a place to be able to express their grief, to process their grief. It's also important because we want the families that we serve during the time the patient is ill to know that we're still here for them after the death.
We have support groups here for family members and community members who have experienced a loss. We have support groups for spouse loss. We have support groups for sibling and parent loss. And we also do a support group for widows who are beyond a year after their loss to help them kind of get used to what life is like after the loss of a spouse.
In Dublin's fair city, where the girls are so pretty.
How do you feel today?
Wonderful. Are you in the mood to win?
Oh, I'm always in the mood to win. You have to believe in luck.
You have to believe in it.
Hospice experience is more than just medical. It's body, mind, and spirit. So we want to support all of that.
Like Carmel and Maura, I think families would benefit from having that assistance, guidance, and to make the whole prospect of an impending death less of a specter and more of as an acceptable, normal thing of life.
It's really good that people know that we are here for them. You know, it's not just immediately after the death of a loved one. It's not just for a few months. We're really here for them for the long haul.
We work with families and patients. There's a lot of discussion that goes on to help the family and the patient understand what to expect and also to make them comfortable.
Alan, would we recommend hospice care for other families?
Certainly.
Certainly. And why?
Because they're always available.
When someone is going through the dying process, it's so important to have the family be around and celebrate the person's life. And that's why hospice is so wonderful, because they can support that celebration.
So were her parents before her, you know, and they both wheeled their barrows through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh God.
You did it.